Hi, I'm Padraig Regan. I'd like to thank the John Hewitt Society for inviting me to be part of this project. I'm just going to read two poems here. I presume most people would be familiar with the story of Laika, who was the first dog to be sent into outer space, which was part of this Soviet research project run by a man called Oleg Gazenko. And this first poem that I'm going to read is absolutely not about Laika. It's called The Understudies. All night some finches have disgraced themselves by singing their desires through my open window. I suggest we abolish the tree they're living in. I have no desire to write about Laika, nor the grey-scale picture of the world she glimpsed for 5 hours from a window which, regrettably, was not left open. I want to write about the brave and red-haired fox, the little bee, the starlet, the coal and the light breeze. I want to write about Bobbick, or the untamed substitute thereof who ran like a joke around the barracks. They who were subject to the same diet of laxatives and jellied protein. It didn't help that they were all in temperament phlegmatic, and therefore cancers, or Scorpios, or Pisces, though the circumstances of their births went unrecorded in the streets. Their mothers were abolished because no one and themselves desired otherwise. They had seen some stuff, and so Oleg Gazenko thought they could bear to see some more. I desire to abolish all desires and live like a monk, divorced from the world. I desire to be less sublunary. The secrets of their deaths was kept long past the abolition of the state they died in service of. It's hard to think Oleg Gazenko was a person and desired. In 1998, he spoke of this again. He said, "We did not learn enough." And the second of these poems started with this YouTube video I saw about a man who decided to spend 7 continuous days living in a virtual reality headset. And there were two things about this video that really struck me. One of which was there's a point where he decides to go to a virtual meditation circle in a kind of simulated forest. I remember this as a yoga class, but it was a meditation circle. And there was something about these pixelated trees that were just really beautiful to me. And the other bit was he decided to spend the last 6 hours of this experiment as a kind of final challenge to himself, doing this simulation of driving across the Nevada desert in a pickup truck with a top speed of about 50 miles per hour and with a slight lean to one side in the steering. So this poem is called "Please Sir, This is a Yoga Class." And I remember, yes, the bright green arms of cactuses who stood like soldiers, bright and green. And I remember the hitch in the transmission that made the truck veer slightly to the right. Vegas lit up the horizon like a promise or a coin, and I aspired to the centre of the road as one aspires to love Jesus, which is to say, my wheels lodged themselves in the red dirt. When you're in the desert, you want a forest. When you're in the forest, you want the whole flat expanse of the horizon to cut your gaze in half. No coyotes yammered in the night, and so I presumed coyotes must be on the hunt. You'd be surprised how long a man can live on nothing but water from the arms of cactuses and protein chewed from the leather that once upholstered the back seat of his truck. The sound of no coyotes kept enclosing, and you'd be surprised how easily a coyote can map Nevada from a trace of human sweat. I spent the days sleeping in the shade of the truck. I spent the nights with a rifle. I had no bullets, but the coyotes didn't know this. I grew thin and bony as soup. I was failing to maintain my regimen. Filth accumulated in all my wet folds, and in truth, I became accustomed to this version of myself. The moon was a bright hole punched into the night, and the moths harassed it. Somewhere quarters waterfalled into big gulps, and fountains shot into a canopy of palms. Somewhere in the black forest men were swinging the rest of themselves above their heads. I caught a fraction of my eye in the rearview mirror, and I thought, come on, coyotes, come on, moths, come on, whatever earthly shape judgment may take. This is not easy to talk about. Thanks for listening. And thank you for watching.